Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Mavs EDGE Employer Spotlight. We are having some technical difficulties. We hope that our guest will be able to join us here soon. In the meantime, please bear with us. If our guest is unable to join us, we will definitely reschedule. And if we have any student questions in the meantime, please feel free to send them in the chat and we will answer any questions that you have right now.
Looks like we have Justin joining as an attendee. I've just made him a panelist, Julie, so you should see, hopefully, Justin appearing soon.
Fantastic. Thank you, David, for your help.
Hi, Justin. Can
Hello.
you hear us?
Yes.
Hey, we have audio.
Yes.
That is a start. And now we have video. Awesome. Hi, Justin. It's so great to see you today.
Yeah. It's a lovely day. Sorry about all the technical problems there.
No, that's okay. You know, considering the storms we've had today, it's a miracle. I know earlier UTA didn't have power, so hey, we're doing good this afternoon. That is a victory. So I am going to just jump right in. Welcome. Good afternoon to all those watching. I'm Julie Moy, Internship Coordinator with UTA's Career Development Center. I assist employers with their internship programs and direct the Mavs EDGE internship program. And thank you for joining us this afternoon and bearing with us while we work through these technical difficulties. We're very excited to welcome the City of Carrollton today to today's EDGE Spotlight. We'll meet our panelists in just a second, but I just want to let students know you may begin sending questions at any time during the event using the question and answer feature, and we'll address your questions near the end of the presentation. So let's go ahead and get started by meeting Justin Swaney, Recreation Superintendent with the City of Carrollton.
All right. Yeah. So like she said, my name is Justin. I'm the Recreation Superintendent for the City of Carrollton in our Parks and Recreation Department. I've been with the City of Carrollton in general for almost 9 years now, in a couple of various different roles throughout my time here. I have an undergrad degree from the University of Oklahoma in Health and Exercise Science and a master's from UNT in kinesiology. So part of my responsibilities now as superintendent is just kind of overseeing the daily operations of the recreation division within our overall Parks and Rec department. So yeah, very excited to talk to you all today.
Well, we're so glad to have you here today. I'd also like to introduce our Assistant Director of Internships, David Powers, who will help facilitate today's event. Again, thank you everyone for being with us today. And I want to thank the City of Carrollton Parks and Recreation Department for being a Mavs EDGE partner. Before we get started with questions, I'd like to turn the session over to Justin. Do you have a presentation or
Yes.
do you want to give an overview? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen so that you can share yours. There it is. We're on a roll, Justin. We've got our share screen working.
All right. Yeah. So obviously, I'm just going to talk about the Parks and Recreation Department internships. We have a ton of options within our own department, but I do have a little bit at the end just to mention the rest of the city as well, because I am a team player at the end of the day. So just a little bit of overview on our department. So as I kind of alluded to, we are broken into two parts, the parks side and the recreation division. So parks, they're the ones that handle all of our maintenance as far as our city parks go, mowing, planting flowers, taking care of trees around the city, all that irrigation, things of that nature, as well as they oversee our aquatic center. We have an outdoor aquatic center here in the city. So May to or Memorial Day to Labor Day, they're in charge of hiring lifeguards, running all of that, making sure everybody has a great time, as well as we have two splash pads as well in the city. And then, of course, managing the usage at our sports fields. We have 41 fields, not so soccer, baseball, softball, cricket, football, everything. They have it. If it's out there, we try to do it. So, and then recreation, we have 3 rec centers, as well as a historical museum, and everything that goes into that as far as programming, running special events downtown, leagues for both youth and adult, and then of course esports as well. So that's a little bit about our department. So kind of our overall goals for internships, and most of these align with the city's goals as far as our overall internship program. But it's just to gain valuable public service experience, so that you can grow your skills, meet new people, open. When I was growing up, I'm doing kind of close to what I want to do when I was thinking about my future when I was in high school, but I never considered it being for a city government. So that's something I think a lot of people doesn't realize, that whether you're interested specifically in parks and recreation, or if you're into accounting, cities need accountants too. So definitely there's all kinds of career opportunities within local government, and just also seeing how getting that firsthand knowledge of how city government works. And then of course, just creating a resource for students seeking future employment. We like to have a diverse pool of qualified applicants when we are trying to fill positions. And then of course, as most internships, we do appreciate the additional staff support for whatever that task or program or whatever department you're in is needed. So that's very nice. So we think we have a pretty good, we have routine meetings throughout the city from our city internship coordinator, kind of making sure that all of us that have interns know we're creating valuable experiences for our interns, and not just bringing them in to do things we don't want to do, but creating those experiences, those opportunities for them to really learn and build themselves up in their knowledge bases. So a little bit about our specific internships. As you can see, we have quite a lot of them. We have, I think we might even have one that I forgot, but so special events. So we run a lot of bigger special events. We just had one last weekend called Tex Fest, kind of centered around Texas Independence Day. So we've had interns through the past couple of years that have helped with the kind of coordination and running and kind of behind the scenes aspects of our special events. We have a good team that runs all of those events for us, and we've had good success with filling that internship with quality people and letting them kind of see and experience events on a different scale. Esports, we currently have an esports intern over here at our Crosby Rec Center. City of Carrollton was one of the first municipal esports centers within the state of Texas. So we have a really nice facility with 20 computers. We're hosting a tournament next weekend. If anybody's interested in playing Fortnite solos or Rocket League, let us reach out to me. We'll get you in. But we have an intern that really helps with our marketing and just kind of working with making those connections through Discord and reaching out to the other kind of niche things, and also editing videos, creating kind of content for us, as well as the big kind of duties that they are help with. In addition, just kind of being knowledgeable about the center and helping us run the daily operations of it as well. I alluded to it briefly in the introduction on the department about our museum. We have a historic homestead from the early 1900s. That is from the kind of like one of the first families of Carrollton. We currently have an awesome intern there. I actually directly oversee the museum, and he's been awesome. He's actually studying for his MPA, but his undergrad work was in kind of history, and so he was really drawn to that, both for getting experience for just working for government, as well as just being interested in history and helping us go there. So over there, I've kind of tasked him with putting together our special exhibit calendar. So every 6-ish weeks, we try to have a new exhibit up there, and we take a little bit of time off in between. We just had a really great Black History Month special exhibit over there featuring Jimmy Porter, who was a local Carrolltonite that is very revered in the kind of baseball youth scene around here. But yeah, so helping with just the daily operations there, he can really put his stamp on kind of the things at the museum as far as these special exhibits go. So that person's been really great. And then we have athletics. So that's just general. We have robust adult leagues, softball, basketball, flag football, cornhole. So just helping learn about and run leagues and what all goes into that, as well as with our youth leagues for basketball and volleyball, just assisting with all of those kind of operational things, scheduling practices, putting teams together, just learning and assisting with all the nitty gritty of that stuff. Administration, I prefer to call it more recreation management. That we had somebody in that role for most of last year, and they essentially they had like a 6-month project of building kind of a comprehensive guide to everything that we do as far as like standard operating procedures and compiling information. Their interest was real data driven. And so we were trying to find something to help them kind of bring out that knowledge that they have already there and apply it to our field. And so this one can be kind of wide ranging. It's usually more project specific type things when we hire for this internship. So like I said, it's currently vacant because we haven't really identified a great need or good kind of project for that person to fill yet. So marketing. So marketing is a tricky one. We have a marketing department, obviously, with the city. But within our own department, we have a marketing specialist, and then we also have this marketing intern, and they're really just there to help us put together the content. We're looking for ideas. We have a lot of different things going on, and they just really help with just getting it all done, bringing our ideas to the forefront, or helping coordinators, supervisors, whoever, kind of flesh out and get their things promoted. So that one's very much a doer, and we love when people bring in and tap into their graphics knowledge, or graphic design knowledge as well on that one. We've had a lot of great stuff come out of that position through the past couple of years. And then special populations is another one. So most recently, the reason I call it special populations is most recently they were at our senior center, helping with the kind of senior related stuff. But in the past, we have also had an adaptive intern kind of helping with our special needs groups and programs, which we have a really solid program of that as well. So that one I just call special populations. It kind of be at that moment, whoever kind of applicant based, and if we have a need one way or the other. So why should you intern with us or look at our opportunities? Obviously I mentioned our overall citywide goals, but at the end of the day, Parks and Recreation is fun. It's exciting. Some of you maybe have seen the television show Parks and Rec. Well, obviously they take some liberties to make it a fun show to watch, because it would be relatively boring if you truly recreated exactly what we do, but there is elements of truth in that. And honestly, that's what I love most about my job, is that I'm often not in my office just doing stuff all day long. I'm out and about. I have a ping pong table right outside in the rec center, right outside my office, that is used most of the day. So it's just fun, exciting, it's different. As well as just really making those worthwhile experiences, real life experience, really letting the person and really trying to put them in positions to show off and learn, to contribute to bettering our department in the city, with benefiting our citizens as well. And then just the connections of, you can meet not just people in our department, but we work a lot with most of the other departments in the city. So you might think, oh, this is a good place to start, and maybe I want to do this, but while you're here, you might make connections in another department, and they have an opening, and boom, you've got a full-time job at the city over in budget or whatever it might be. So we've had, like I said, we really prioritize hiring interns to really help grow professionals like yourselves. And of course we pay. That's the best thing. We pay. So undergrads, it doesn't really matter any of those opportunities. They can all be filled by either an undergrad or a grad. So undergrads, we pay $15 an hour, and graduates, $17 an hour. So if you're in grad school like that. And usually we do because most of the time people are looking for an internship for a college requirement. So we do traditionally kind of keep them semester based, but we have the leeway to extend as we see fit, as far as if they're working on a project, if they're cool with it and their schedule allows for them to stick around with us. We're happy to keep people around as long as they're putting out good work and interested and available to us. So I alluded to it a little bit. So we're our interns now. So we actually our most recent rec management admin intern, who's actually still finishing up his last semester right now, for his MPA, but he actually got a full-time job as a budget analyst with us in December. And so he turned his internship and those connections and the work that he done into a full-time job with us. We have one of our marketing interns has now recently been hired as our marketing specialist. So we do value, and it does, that experience and connections with us does go a long way to potentially full-time employment if that you're interested in that. We've had a few other interns from a couple years back that have also been hired on in other departments within the city, but those are the two most recent examples that I have for you. So yeah. So then briefly, I just want to mention it's called You at Work, is our overall City of Carrollton internship program. Like I said, their finance has internships, marketing has internships, city manager's office, environmental services, pretty much every department in our city, human resources, has internships available as well, that anyone can definitely go check out. It's generally for us, we have just a general application, and you just kind of check what you're interested in, and you get filtered to the correct department that way. So thank you guys so much for your time today. I'm happy to answer any and all questions you may have for me. I know it was kind of a quick and dirty, but I think it's open and to whatever, and it's awesome to come work with us. So thank you.
Justin, thank you. That's a fantastic presentation. And I mean, who can beat having a ping pong table outside their office door? I'm a little jealous. That's great.
Yeah.
I have a few questions.
Yeah.
We don't have any student questions yet, but we'll keep checking the chat. But if you could just kind of expand a little bit about your own personal career path, like how you got into government, and maybe expand on the benefits of working for the government. I too worked for the federal government, and it's a great experience. So if you could just tell our students a little bit, like, why choose government?
Yeah. So when I was getting my master's here at UNT, I actually had an internship with the City of Southlake School District, Carroll Independent School District, in their like nutrition departments. So that was kind of my first experience of kind of, I know schools aren't government, but it's kind of close. Yeah,
definitely it is. It's state.
Yeah, it's basically the same. So that was kind of interesting. Then from there, I started working part-time for another city, just in their recreation department. Really, it was just a part-time job while I was finishing school. And then that turned into, when I kind of graduated, I enjoyed what I was doing part-time, and I found with Carrollton, there was an opening for a full-time position for an athletic coordinator that I applied for and got. And so I originally did kind of field rentals, small pool kind of events. Then I've transitioned to being over our fitness classes and equipment, and then a supervisor over the kind of our front desk attendants, people that kind of man the buildings themselves. And then most recently, like I said, the superintendent over all of it.
Which, congratulations, by the way,
thank you.
on your recent promotion. That's great. Yeah, so, as far as the benefits of working for the government, what would you say pops out as the top three?
Yeah, I think it has benefits, and there's also things that are maybe, you get your hands tied sometimes, but I think it's very rewarding. You really see your work in the community and the citizens that you're directly impacting. I think that's the biggest thing for me, is especially in Parks and Recreation. That's, I think, the number one thing. You can just directly see what you're doing translate, to the citizens, who ultimately is who we work for.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent point. And you do so much, City of Carrollton, and your Parks and Recreation. I didn't really know what esports was until I interviewed one of your interns, who Michelle. She did an internship with you, and absolutely, she was a language major, and that was not really something that she ever thought about doing, and she loved it. So, could you tell me a little bit about, you offer a variety of positions just within your own department. What types of majors would you be looking for? I mean, clearly you're looking maybe for some marketing majors. You have a history major working in the museum. I mean, is it really open across the spectrum?
Yeah, I think it's really open. And as I mentioned, I think it's a lot from our internships. Yeah, we're not really looking for experience, because as an internship, that's what you get out of an internship, is the experience. But we're really just kind of looking for people that are interested in something. And so you may be studying mathematics or chemistry or accounting. We had somebody working our front desk for like 2 years that was getting accounting. That was, they were majoring in accounting, but it just, like I said, I don't know that there's a preference or anything. And maybe some of the science ones, maybe, like engineering, I don't know, would maybe stay with Parks and Rec specifically, but we do have an engineering department that has interns. But, really anything interdisciplinary, we're honestly, I don't really look at it that much. I'm more interested in what they are interested in and what they could bring to the table for us.
Most definitely. And when a student is applying for an internship with your department, what are some of the things you look for in that initial resume or application?
Yeah. I just kind of look for just a little bit of professionalism, just to see that they know they've been coached. They've put some time into filling out our very short estimate thing, or just putting their time into their resume. For me, I think I can read a lot off of that. If they have experience doing even a part-time job somewhere, that's awesome. But like I said, that's not necessarily something that I'm checking off as a prerequisite. Maybe I'm interested in some of their projects they've done in school, if they have anything or any related coursework that would kind of translate. But really, just there are a couple. I would say museum is probably one of the main ones that I look for some type of degree relation to history or previous work experience with that. But for the most part, the general ones, the rest of them, it's not that specific on that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty fair and open. If I'm interested in what you've put in front of me, most likely you're going to get a call from me.
So for students, maybe just showing that interest in working for the city and Parks and Recreation, showing an actual genuine interest. What's the best way once they apply to get noticed or to reach out to you? We are always asking students to go, seek you out on LinkedIn. I know your information's in the chat.
There's a couple of different ways that I would say. Generally, we do at some point in the process, we'll need the official application, but that can often be after we've essentially agreed that, offered the position almost. It can be kind of after, because we have done, we do try to post where the students are as far as, Handshake and some of those other kind of platforms that are out there versus just, oh, you have to come to our website to apply. But I always just recommend, if you're interested, just if you can figure out either find somebody in that department to send an email to, or even just send it to our citywide internship coordinator. He's really great about when applications come in or if somebody reaches out, especially if they're specific about a certain department, they will forward that to us. And then I, myself or whoever is kind of would be leading that internship will definitely reach out. So I would just say reaching out to someone with us, whether it be, like I said, me, because you want to work in Parks and Rec, or just go through the general person and he can filter you to myself or whoever.
Oh, that's awesome. Once they are looking at maybe being hired as an intern, what are some of the characteristics, qualities that you look for in your intern?
Yeah, I just look for some, just kind of basic, professionalism. Just, I know, I want that we have a good environment around us, and I just don't want that to be, I want you to see that and then experience it and learn from us. And so if they already kind of have that, then they'll, fit in perfectly. But I also want them to, be themselves and bring their own thoughts and ideas to us, and to the job, and just, really tell us and show us why that you were the right intern and choice for that position. I think it's, I've hired enough. I used to hire all of our kind of part-time people for the front desk and everything. And so I feel like I just can just read people pretty well. And so just just be interested, show me that you can show up and that I don't have to sit and watch, and that I can give you a task and that I know that you can get it done.
That's very important. Just that general professionalism. And it sounds like you're very open to new ideas from your interns. Tell me a little bit more about that. Like maybe some examples of some ideas that your department's adopted from an intern.
Yeah, especially the interns that have been kind of those already have interest or knowledge of the subjects. Like, sorry, I keep defaulting to my museum intern, but that's the one I work closely with the most recently. I kind of work with most of them at some point throughout the process, but he's the one that I like directly kind of manage right now. And so he has more of a history background than I do. And so I'm definitely will defer to his ideas on how he thinks we get a new get a new artifact or acquisition. And he has an idea of where we could showcase it, or, it's a house is what we have. And so it's kind of the thing of how do you get people, so you might get somebody once, but how do you get them to come back? And so he's had some really good ideas as far as how we should refresh and move things around out of and display. He really got in and kind of went through our collection of things that are in storage and just pulled out various items, to make sure that we were kind of rotating some things through to just kind of freshen it up. And honestly, what he's been the best at is our social media posts, just making them not just a call to action as far as coming and visiting us, but just digging and researching things from Texas history or related to our museum or some art things that we have. And our engagement has been, it's been a noticeable jump since he was kind of in charge of leading the kind of social media for the museum itself.
Yeah, and it sounds like his passion is kind of exhibited in his social media posts. So to have someone like that on staff is fantastic. Thank you for that. If student, I just totally lost my train of thought. I get so excited sometimes that I forget my next question. Along those lines, what is the best way to make a good impression as an intern? If they want to get that full-time job after graduation, like your most recent intern, what should they do? How can they stand out? How can they make those connections?
Yeah, I just think, we will try to make that known as far as when you are first, in your first little, kind of orientation period. Just let us know what you're looking to get out of this. Are you just looking to put in a good shift and get your course credit work? That's fine as long as you're doing, what we ask and think that's totally fine. Or if you're looking to go, you got this internship, but your interest maybe is more this, just be upfront and talk to us, and we will definitely try to facilitate as many of those kind of opportunities and connections as we can, whether it's, okay, you're our administration intern and, your passion is maybe more on the park side. We can definitely, while we mainly handle it on the rec, we can definitely put you out there, get you some type of cross training out there and experience it's kind of what they do from an administration side, or maybe they have a project. So yeah, I think just letting, having that conversation, that's what I do with all the interns that I fired when we first started, is just kind of, what are your thoughts right now? What are you studying? What do you think you're going to do? How can I help? It's a big one I like to know of. And just throughout the process, just, I know some of the courses required, kind of midway check-ins and end of so many hours check-ins, but I like to kind of do those, in between as well, just to make sure that they are getting the most out of the internship for themselves, not just, we're just not receiving the benefit, but to make sure that they're getting a benefit as well.
It's a true learning experience, it sounds like, for the intern. And I think that's great that you encourage them to meet people in other departments. And because the way a city works, Parks and Recreation can't exist without, the finance department and the zoning department. You're all working together. So it's great that they have an opportunity to look at those different aspects of how it all fits together and find their interest. Very, very cool.
Definitely. Yeah, all of us got to work. All of our departments have to, coexist to get the job done and benefit the citizens to the best, provide the best for our citizens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you touched upon your culture at, in your department. How would you describe the general culture of the city of Carrollton?
Yeah, I would say in general, we have a great culture. We, I would say for the most part, everyone gets along well and is open to, yes, we're a larger, we have 800 some odd employees, but we have there's a committee that's called STARS committee that, we have at least once a quarter, one big kind of city get together, but we're also doing, each month there's usually something to try to connect people. Like, it's March, so March Madness. We've got some things planned for this month. Just kind of you can friendly competition, if you will, amongst kind of the departments to get out and meet people and interact in a kind of different work setting. Because of course we interact with people in a work setting, but it's nice to, go, like for Valentine's Day, we had like free coffee or something at City Hall, and you could just go over and hang out for 15-20 minutes and mingle with whoever might walk by, the police chief or an accountant, somebody from environmental. So I'd say for the most part, and that really starts with our city manager. I mean, she's been really great. She's been with us in the top job since 2017. Yeah, I think 2017. So she's led us through a couple of fun things as far as we had a cyber attack that happened, and then of course right after we got done cleaning that up, COVID happened, and so leading us through that, I think she just has really set a good example, and it's trickled down all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, it sounds like you do a lot of things just for your employees, which what a great place to work. And it really is a beautiful city. I've been to a lot of baseball tournaments on your fields when my son was younger. It is a very beautiful city.
Thank you.
And so I think we still don't have any student questions. What would be your advice to any of the interns just to be successful in applying for internships in these roles?
Yeah, I think just a lot of it is just telling us all, really why you would be the perfect fit or how you can help us, and vice versa, we can help you. I think there's tons of opportunities that we can, especially within our department, that we can find something that if you're interested in some mad part of Parks and Rec, we can find it. So just, being open and out there and just showing us that you're interested, I think would go a long way, not just applying to everything under the sun.
Right,
So,
which is that's a strategy for
it
some
is.
students.
Yeah.
And I know you said you do semester internships, but you're willing to be flexible. Do you have summer interns as well?
Yes, I mean, honestly, we can start an intern not any day, but any Monday of the year. And they can run as long as kind of they want, their schedule allows and our schedule that we, have a need for them. So yes, we are looking for summer. Like I said, most of our, at least within Parks and Recreation, I think we currently have 3 interns right now. And obviously you saw we could have up to 8.
Right.
We did have some of those, a lot more of those were filled in the fall. But the spring, we just kind of have our 3 right now. But yeah, definitely we're always kind of looking for and interested for people, and we evaluate, every application that comes through gets a look, and if we just see a fit, then we'll definitely reach out.
So students need to be on the lookout for your postings in Handshake.
Yes.
I know we promote whenever we see them through the Mavs EDGE program, and we're always excited when we see your positions because they are very fun roles, as we've heard.
And that's the other thing I should mention. You can apply at any time. I know there are certain times we will actually put it on and promote it, but through that cityofcarrollton.com/interns, there's just an application always live on there, and you can fill that out at any time and pick out which departments you're interested in, and it'll get sent to us.
Okay, that's great to know. We will definitely highlight that and put that in the chat so that our students have an easy way to access that application and apply. I don't have any other questions for you at this moment, and I don't see any other student questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add or to promote at this time before we close?
I don't think so. I've appreciated getting the opportunity to speak, and hope to see some applications from UTA students.
Absolutely. It's been great to meet you. Thank you so much for taking part in our spotlight today. Students, you'll find links to more information in our comments section. please make sure you visited the link in the chat so you can find out how to apply for City of Carrollton internships. We'll post the employer spotlight for viewing on the CDC LinkedIn Spotlight page and Student Teams channel, and on our YouTube channel as well. And thank you so much, Justin, for joining us today. And students who are tuning in, I wish you the best of luck with the rest of the spring semester. I hope you all get a little rest and relaxation during spring break next week. And everyone take care. Thanks so much, Justin.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.